What I want to show you today is how to simply set up OBS Studio with an overlay that is literally so simple my 4-year-old can do it, and it looks just so clean. Let's jump in and build something unique that is yours, that you can say that you did yourself, and then actually starts you on the road to building something that only you are going to be able to create. I'm going to be able to create something a little bit different than you, but I'm sure you're going to be able to come up with some awesome ideas of your own. I'm just here because I want to get you started. This video is part 1, and part 2, we're going to go into a couple of more complicated things that we can add to this overlay. But for right now, let's get it started with just adding your scenes, your sources, and a couple other cool features. Let's get into it. So the idea in order to do this is to give you guys some new tools to learn something new that is very, very easy, but that at the same time looks real good, that you can consistently use in any of your streams, and at the same time not have to consistently worry about how everything looks and going back and tweaking things and making sure it's right. This is like a fallback. This is your basic. If you guys want to switch over from Streamlabs OBS, which I suggest you do, and if you haven't looked at the video, go look at the video. I'm going to put it right here at the eye. And if you haven't watched that, please go watch that. Streamlabs OBS, it's great. It's very, very cookie cutter. I compare it to like using like an iPhone compared to an Android, but at the same time, both of these systems are pretty cookie cutter. But the reason why I like OBS Live is because you have plugin. And now plugins are the thing that we're going to be pushing into in the next side of this video. There are going to be some easy things in this video that we're going to cover, but in the next one, we're going to go into 2 plugins that I really, really suggest that you guys add on to your overlays and add on to your OBS Live, because they're going to make the difference. There is really only one feature that I like from Streamlabs OBS that OBS Live, OBS Studio does not have. And that feature is auto optimizing your stream and the output and the different settings on the back end that have to really take a look at your PC and your stream. What it'll do is it'll analyze all of your specs and put your OBS or put your Streamlabs OBS and put your overlay, put everything in the capabilities that your PC is going to be able to run your overlays and everything with no drop frames, proper bitrate, everything. This does not have that, but it does have pretty much everything else and a lot more. So let's get you started. We're going to be starting from scratch. So we're going to build an overlay and a full stream from scratch. So what we're doing right now is we are recording in Streamlabs OBS. And the reason why we're doing that is because that is another broadcaster software that I can record my entire monitor here. What we're going to do is we're going to jump over to our OBS Live. Now here is everything. When you download OBS Live, this is where it's going to take you. It's going to be able to show your stream here. You're going to have all of your events, your activity feed over on this end. And then you're going to have your stream chat, your stream information here, start recording, all this good stuff, and your transitions and everything else. What I want to do is I want to go over the most important 2 boxes. And that would be these. These are the most important boxes on your stream. Why these are so important? Let's take a look. If you want to start streaming, obviously, just like in Streamlabs OBS, you have all your scenes, you have everything you need, and you have all your sources. We're going to do the same type of thing over here. Let's create a new scene. I'm going to name this, we're just going to name this live with a hyphen. We added this, so our first live screen. Now, what game are you going to be playing? Are you guys going to be playing on your PC? Or are you going to be playing on console? Like me, I'm a console peasant. We all live the life that we choose. Add our source. If you have a camera, if you have a webcam, you got a cam link, you got an Elgato, any of these devices, what you're going to do is you're going to go down to video capture device. Now I already have my cam link and my Elgato set up. I'm going to add an existing device. Now when you create a new device and say you're naming this Elgato, this screen is going to pop up. Now the reason why this screen is going to come up because it's going to say default and then you're going to have to choose which device to use. And now because we have slobs open at the moment, slobs is actually taking my Elgato source right now. I moved over to our OBS studio because I want to be able to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here. This is the screen that we're going to be using to record. For example, if I'm going to be using another video capture device, what I'm going to add is my cam link, because my cam link has the camera on it. I'm going to add that. Here we are. I am going to resize so we can get my ugly face out of the way and you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Perfect. Now, if we switch between these, this right here, if we go to properties, this is a display capture. This is very, very different from the video capture device that I was talking about. Now, if it looks kind of inception-y here, it's because it's recording of a recording of a recording of a recording over a recording. Now, if we're doing a live screen, like I talked about earlier, and we wanted to add our Elgato capture device, here it is. Now, say I wanted to change this to my cam link, I'm not going to go into my Elgato and then change this to my cam link. I'm going to keep this where it is. Okay. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to add another video capture device, add our cam link. There's our live screen. Now you could just roll with this. This could be your live screen. This could be it while you're playing the game. We're not going to do that though. What I want to show you guys now instead is how to give the background of your webcam a little bit of texture, a little bit of depth. I'm just going to use like a PNG. I'm not going to make it too complicated. I'm going to make this very, very easy. What we're going to do is we're going to go into a different software, and that is, so here we are in Inkscape. Now, Inkscape is a free software. None of this stuff today is you have to pay for it. Everything's, you can do all of this for free. In Inkscape, what we're going to do is we're going to create a rectangle that is the same size, shape as your webcam so that we can put some kind of shadow box behind it, give it that little bit of texture. So what we'll do first is actually, I'm gonna edit this so that we can see our grid. Good, better. Then I'm gonna go to file and I'm gonna go to document properties. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna change to pixels because that's what we use. And we're gonna use more of a landscape, but that's not the right size. So instead what we're gonna do is we're gonna go 19 by 20, the width, and of course 1080. Good. And we're going to take this rectangle piece, and up here it should have a default color that it's actually going to have you put red. And when you select this tool, just make sure that you're on black, and then you're going to bring it up over into the corner and drag it all the way over here to the very bottom corner. And then what you want to do is you want to come up here, make sure that this is pixels. You got your width, you got your height, make sure that's 1920 by 1080, perfect. And then you're going to come over and you're going to select the mouse tool and make sure that this is selected. Then you're going to come over to filters and you're going to come down to shadows and glow, and you're going to go shadows and glows, right? And then you're going to come down to drop shadow. Drop shadow, you're not going to hit anything here except for right here. And the shadow type, you're going to go to outer cutout. You might be on inner or outer as the default. You want to go to outer cutout. And if you want a live preview, you just come over here, you hit a live preview. That's what you want right here. So we're going to click apply. We're going to exit out of that. And now we're still selected on this layer. While you're still selected on this layer, you want to hit Control D so that it duplicates the shadow. So that way it's a little bit thicker. You can see it better, protrudes out a little bit better from the webcam, separates itself, and that's what you want. Now, what we're gonna do next is this is the image. This is the finished image that we want right there, just like that. What we wanna do is come over and we want to export. So if you don't have this window up like I do already, you come down, you go to export PNG image, this will pop up, and you don't need to mess with any of the settings out of here. No more the resizing, any of that. You just come over and you want to select export as. You want to select the place where you're going to put it. We're going to put it in, I'm going to make a new folder under my save folders. I'm going to put drop shadow there. That's the one I'm going to click on, and I'm going to say PNG1 save, and then that's where it's going to be saved. And we're going to add an image, webcam shadow, browse, bring it over. Now here's the thing. We want to size it appropriately for our webcam. And because the resolution you set it at 1920 and 1080, it should fit perfectly to your webcam. Looks like we got a shadow behind our webcam. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a group. I'm going to name this group webcam. I'm going to stick my cam link in there. I'm going to stick the webcam shadow in there. And I'm going to make sure that the cam link is above shadow. Now, if you ever want to move your webcam around, you can move it around. Now you have that all in one source. You don't even have to worry about it. That's your live screen. Then all you have to do is when you want to add another source, you can come over here, add a group, pick the group, webcam hyphen. It's going to have your source in it. Intermission screen. We have everything right there. We add our video capture device, our Elgato, make sure that our webcam is above. And just so you know, if you have never created anything like this on stream yet, the general rule of thumb here is if it's on top of everything else. Now, if this is our intermission screen, you probably want your webcam to take up most of the space. On mine, you could have it blurred. That's a plugin. We're going to talk about that at a later date on another video. Very cool feature, but not for this video. So you have that set up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump back over to Streamelements like we did from last video. And what we're going to do is we are going to go over what the best possible way is to set up your overlays. You're going to have your own intermission screen. I have widgets that are in the Discord. If you guys have not joined the Discord, if you're trying to join the Discord to get some of these cool features, or if you're trying to get more information on when we're live, what other videos are out, all links are down in the description down below. If you guys want to look up these specific designs, they're in the designs and effects folder inside the Discord. I'll link to that down in the description down below as well. If you guys like this video, remember, give us a thumbs up. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed to our content. All of our content is free. If you guys are looking for widgets or different effects that you guys can have, everything is going to be in the Discord. I may even throw in this shadow, the webcam shadow. You guys can download it and add it right to your webcam. Easy peasy. Guys, one little tad bit more of information just on this. Once you add your scene and you want to add your overlay, I'm just going to use one of my overlays as an example. It's not going to fit perfectly. You guys are going to want to go in and tweak this. And I'm going to explain this a little bit more in next week's video when we go over the overlays, how to add in these two special widgets I've been talking about. And we'll leave that for next week's video because I want to go over all that detail then. But as for now, just to show you, let's take a look over at our overlays and just how to add a browser source. Let's come over to our overlays. Let's grab my live scene. What you're going to do is after you have everything already set up, everything's good to go, you're going to come up to the top right hand corner and you're going to copy your overlay. And it'll say copy to clipboard. You come back to your OBS studio, you go to your live scene, and you're going to add a browser source. We'll add a new one, elements overlay, and then we are going to copy and paste that overlay URL into the box here. Now, remember to do this as well. You go in, you want to make sure that the resolution is correct. 1920 by 1080. Normally on my live screen, I'll have my webcam over here. I'll have the feed rotating under here. We'll come back. Let me emulate a subscriber. Perfect. You got the alert here. You got the subtrain. You got the rotating feed. Good to go. Just wanted to give you that tad bit of information so that you guys know what a browser source is, how to easily integrate it into your OBS studio. The only items on this overlay that you can't get from the widgets, this is where you can get your chat box, your emote counter, your hype bar. You can put your latest YouTube video up. You can create an auto poll. You can create emote greetings for anybody that's new and follows, a social media rotator like we have in the bottom left hand corner, an events rotator, all of these different things. The only things that you're not going to be able to get here are the rotating events feed that we have on our channel and the subtrain. Those are two things that are not here but are in the Discord. Again, link to that down in the description down below. This is the way to make a simple overlay that still looks really good. It gives a little bit of texture. It gives you that little detail, that little crisp detail that just gives it that little oomph. I think that, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you need a great overlay that needs a lot of animations and a lot of colors and a lot of different things, and it costs a lot of money. And you don't really need that. You need, if you want to look professional and clean, you need to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Focus on the little details. What are the important little details? Like that PNG. How long did it take us to make that? 2 minutes. Make something like that. If you're able to do that, and again, for maybe your game, and you want to give your game a little bit of that texture, but also we're going to be going into something like this next week in part 2, and what that is going to be is a blur feature for any of your scenes, actually. Also, you're going to be able to add a different transition. These are some pretty cool things. Normally you'd have a stringer transition. Check out this transition. Again, if you're looking for something like this, it is not available in the immediate OBS Studio or OBS Live. This is a plugin that I'm going to show you how to do. If you enjoyed this part of this video this week, drop me a thumbs up, subscribe if you guys already haven't. Make sure you take a look at some of these different features, these widgets in the Discord. If you guys have any additional questions, you can always catch me live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and most Saturdays around 7 p.m. Eastern, either talking to chat, talking shop here, or we're probably playing Warzone. As long as I'm not losing my mind on the game, we should be able to chat quite a bit about different things. There's some great ideas, maybe some not so great ideas on what to add to your overlays in your own streams. Pop in there if you guys ever have any questions. But until next week, keep busy, guys. There's the sub train counting down, and you can see it here on stream. This is what you're looking for. All of that is contained within a browser source. You can go back through, you can put a chat for your live chat. You can put that anywhere. You put your alert box.